Welcome back to Top World Disc Golf for the start of your 2025 season. We're back in San Jose, California for the Mesmerize Disc Golf Tournament at Kelley Park. I'm Keenan Dalton here with Paavo Stubstad.
What up, Keenan?
Glad to be back, and we got a killer featured card for you today. We got Jacob Blair, Isaiah Oliver, Nick Pantages, and Devin Rowell.
Should be fun, Keenan. I think we saw this course last year on Top World coverage. I'm excited to see it now in the springtime. It's much more vibrant and green.
Yeah, the course is looking great thanks to the maintenance team at the Silicon Valley Disc Golf Club, and we're excited to be back at this great course. Let's get right into the action. Starting off on hole 1, 349-foot par 3. You got the OB parking lot on the right side, which is the only thing to worry about on this hole. We're playing the long positions today, so you see it just past the short basket that's in the drone. Most players are going to throw a sidearm or a straighter backhand that turns to the right, or you might see Devin Rowell throw a lefty backhand, since we saw he's an ambidextrous player in the last Top World finale coverage.
Yeah, that's always fun to see. Players who have both.
Up first, Jacob Blair.
Nice high forehand. Fading out. That should be about 20 feet in the circle. Good way to start.
And Team Top World's Isaiah Oliver up next. Only 15 years old, and this is his home course, making a name for himself.
Looks like he's lining up the forehand as well. Lower line than Jacob. Playing for the skip. Yep, and he gets it.
Looks pretty good.
Oh yeah, it's inside the circle, 25 feet maybe.
And Nick up next.
Going for a little backhand turnover, little mini flex. Didn't quite get the turn he wanted. That's going to probably put him about 50 feet left.
And lastly on our card today is Devin Rowell. Looks like he's throwing his Halo Star Destroyer there.
With a lefty backhand. Pretty good, just a little bit short. Everybody's putting. Nick coming up with the longest putt, I believe. Relatively straightforward starting hole here, averaging 2.82. A little wide for Nick.
Looks like Devin's putting with some alpacas.
Ooh, first hole jitters.
Yeah, lots of cameras on it. Jacob's kind of used to it, though. We'll see if he can birdie to start the day.
He can. Well done.
Jacob said that he's back to putting the Prodigy PA3.
Isaiah, good for the birdie as well.
And Isaiah just recently picked up a DGA sponsorship, so he's putting with the Steadies.
Good, clean looking putt from Devin there. He does always putt right-handed, but he is extremely ambidextrous off the tee. It's not even like, you see Nico, for example, throw lefty, once in a while, but Devin really switches it up. I mean, it's almost 50%.
Yeah, it's hard to tell which is his regular throw at this point.
Exactly, until you see him putt. That's what makes me think he is predominantly right-handed. He's just learned that left-handed drive.
Very cool. On to hole 2. 331-foot par 3. No OB to worry about on this hole. It's kind of pick your poison. You go with the backhand, which is what most players are opting for, but there's also a sneaky sidearm lefty backhand line as well.
This hole playing a bit easier than hole 1 at 2.59 with 50% of the field getting birdie on it. So these guys are hoping to put themselves close.
Man, Jacob going long. Devin, or excuse me, Isaiah following a similar line to Jacob.
Nice high spike hyzer. Should put him circle's edge right, if I had to guess. Nick with a flatter release.
Yeah, it's going to need it to swing, and it does.
Great shot.
Same disc as hole 1.
Oh, that is a large obstacle to be caught up behind. We'll see what he's looking at from there. Here it is.
Looks like he's got a window.
Hopefully he's comfortable with a high release.
Oh, tickle, tickle.
That's the kind of putt you want Paul Ulibarri as your doubles partner on. Anheuser putt coming off the left shoulder.
Oh, yeah. Ulibarri special.
Yep.
This is also a tough stance. He's got the leaves in the way.
Can't decide between the straddle and the regular stagger stance. Either way, there's a bunch of junk in his swing. And that just hit a little branch right out of his hand. Tough putt.
And Jacob Blair stretching out.
Oh, inches low. Almost starts 2 for 2. And Nick, can he get a stroke on the card here? He can.
Very nice. Everybody else tapping in for par, and Nick's going to take the box on the next one.
Woo! A little right side there.
All right, on to hole 3, one of my favorites on the course and one of the newest additions as well. Pretty much low ceiling for 75-80% of the fairway until you get up to this, past this tree here, and the basket's out in this field, and with the high grass you can't get those skips that you normally get the rest of the year, so players are going to need to put a lot of spin on the disc, keep it low, either backhand or sidearm.
Yeah, this hole looks tough. Significantly harder than holes 1 and 2. Narrow fairway, low ceiling, 386 feet. Averaged 3.27.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. It looks like a hard birdie to get. You really got to push it past that tree before it starts to fade to put yourself close, or else it's going to be a long putt if you're going to get the birdie.
First two players a little high release and both fading out in opposite directions a little early.
Isaiah, this looks good, but fading. Yeah.
He's got an interesting pre-shot routine and release style, the way he kind of crouches as he throws, but it looks like he puts a lot of power into his shots from doing that.
Yeah, he's one of those players that likes to do his pre-shot routine before every shot, and whether that's driving or up shots or sometimes putting.
That's what they say. You got to keep it consistent.
throw forehand on this one?
I have, yeah.
Devin early left there. This is going to be a tricky par save from here. Let's see if he can get up and down.
Not a bad tree hit there. Still going to have the putt to save his par.
Long look for birdie from Jacob.
Not even close.
Yeah, that almost looked like he was laying up on purpose, but I'm going to say maybe just an error because of that tall grass in his way.
And Isaiah laying up super quick as well. He's pretty decided on that. But Nick giving it a little run. Devin to save par.
Just left. Yeah, tough hole. Looks like we got 3 tap-ins for par here, 1 tap-in for bogey. While that's happening, I got to shout out the only birdie on the day for this hole from Brady Och. Maybe you know how to say his name, Keenan?
Brady Ock, I think it is.
Och. Okay, gotcha. Well,
good birdie to get.
Yeah, only one in the field. Impressive.
All right, on to hole 4. Got the walking path OB on the left side. So most players do like to carry over that walking path with the sidearm shot or a lefty backhand. But you can also go up the gut with a flex sidearm or even a straight backhand shot. And Nick's going to try and demonstrate that first. A little too turned over.
Probably a favorable kick, all things considered. That was maybe headed for some jail. Should be able to save par now at least.
This looks great from Jacob.
Oh!
Wow. I think that hit the basket.
He's trying to break the lock.
Let's take another look here from catch cam. Wow. Hit the pole and bounced up and hit the bottom of the cage as well, I believe.
So close to the ace. I like this line, but it looks like the disc doesn't have quite the stability.
Favorable kick at least.
And Devin gonna throw a similar line to Jacob. Very similar.
Great shot.
Circle 1.
Nick left that a bit wide. He's going to have to work for the par.
There's a little bit of background noise here from the San Jose history celebration going on next door, but no distractions.
No.
For Isaiah, cans a big putt from circle 2.
What a putt. That was close to the edge of circle 2, I want to say. 55 feet or so.
Super smooth. Didn't even need to jump.
Nick for the par save. And he's good for it. Right in the heart.
Very good putt. This will be Devin's birdie putt.
First birdie of the round for him. Nice to see him with some green on the scorecard. Puts him back to even for the round.
And Jacob last to putt out.
Man, so close to the ace.
And now a word from the Silicon Valley Disc Golf Club.
Red shirt guy.
People from all over the Bay are joining up to huck for the future.
I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part.
They're doing their part. Are you? Play. Volunteer. Join the Silicon Valley Disc Golf Club today. Membership guarantees fun.
Did you find anything yet?
We ain't found shit.
All right, back to the coverage. The only par 4 the players are going to play today, hole 5. Normally there's some OB that we're currently flying over, but for this event it is not out of bounds. Players are going to want to land up to this point and then give themselves either a backhand or forehand hyzer to crash into the basket if they want to secure a birdie. And up first, Jacob Blair.
Looks like it's gonna be the forehand approach. It's the perfect shot for the forehand play.
That looks like enough distance off the tee. He's going to put himself in a good position.
Yeah, flat ground, 673 par 4. You don't need to bite off too much. Birdie's most likely going to be in play pretty much no matter what you do off the tee unless you find yourself in jail somehow. I love that low release.
Yeah, so much snap. Gets past Jacob's drive. It's going to have a shorter second shot to the basket.
Every time I'm like, is he going to go lefty or righty? Going righty this time. Oh, no.
Righty into that tree.
Well, birdie is out of play for him, that's for sure. Hopefully he can save the par at least.
Yeah, going to need to scramble from there. Getting a lot of turn.
They're playing it way out to the right. Less obstacles out there off the tee, but leaves him a longer second shot to the basket. And Devin pitches out. It's going to require a huge third shot to save the par here.
And he's going back to the lefty. It's hyzer. Still
it comes
pretty short.
Yep. But he went really high, which makes me think, he could have maybe gotten in the circle if he released that a bit lower, got a little more distance on a similar line. Next second. Just gets caught up on one of the last trees. I kind of like his approach to play out to the right off the tee, though, and open up that bigger, wider hyzer for the second shot.
Yeah, Jacob's kind of forced into the sidearm from this side.
Good thing he's really good at it, but that's still going to leave him maybe 40 feet or so for the birdie look.
And Isaiah making sure he gets the arm warm before a similar big sidearm shot. Very overstable.
Oh, great shot. Looked like it almost went in.
Yeah, that would have been an eagle, so he's going to have a very close putt for the birdie.
Yeah, Nick maybe was giving that a half go, but pretty much just conceding the par, laying up. And here's Devin for a long par save attempt. Yeah, it's going to be a bogey.
Jacob for birdie.
Nice. That branch was kind of right in his line, too. He snuck right under it. Great putt.
Yeah, you could hear him say he thought he was going to hit that branch for sure. And Isaiah's birdie putt. Nick for par. And Devin for bogey. On to hole 6. This is a slightly different pin position than you may have seen in the Silicon Valley Classic coverage, and there's also no mandatory this time. So a lot of different options. Most players are going to throw around the left side with a sidearm or lefty backhand hyzer. But there's also the righty line as well, righty backhand. But Jacob's going to opt for that sidearm shot.
Yep, when you have that sidearm spike hyzer, that's the obvious choice on this hole. Good shot.
Well done.
This is the easiest hole we've seen so far, which is no surprise at only 222 feet. Averaged 2.5 with over 50% of the field taking birdie.
Yeah, pretty routine for these guys. But that gets a weird kick, and he'll have a circle 2 putt for birdie.
Oh, Nick's going to try the righty backhand. I don't know the course too well, but that looks a lot riskier with all the rough over there. But I guess if you get it up high enough, yeah, he's all right. A little bit short.
Yeah, if there's a backhand line, Nick's much more likely to take that. And the lefty, Devin.
Oh, I hit the basket.
Another basket hit.
2 basket. We're only 6 holes in. Let's take another look at that. Skimmed the front of the cage and then hit the pole. Hunting aces out here. Just low for Isaiah.
Similar spot, but better stance for Nick.
And just high for Nick. And Jacob to take a stroke on Isaiah and the lead on our feature card. And he's good for it. 4 down through 6, not bad. Drop in birdie for Devin. Great drive. Almost ace.
And on to hole 7. Today we're playing a triple mando. So as we fly through there, you got to hit your line. Make sure you make those mandos, because that's easy way to lose strokes. Leaves you pretty far back to save par if you miss that mando. So whatever your shot is that you can hit that line, backhand or forehand. And we saw Jacob's pretty good at this hole last at the Silicon Valley Classic, going to his Top World Disc Golf Pro Line Quake. Just a little low.
Not bad though. Still putting for birdie.
I think this is a quake or an aftershock from Isaiah.
Oh, made it.
Oh, what a kick. Still didn't end up in the greatest spot, but could have been worse.
Definitely could have been worse.
See that squirrel trying to razz Nick here a little bit? He's still there. It's just watching the drives.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but I guess as a local, maybe he's less razzed by those ground squirrels. Definitely would have thrown me off. Devin scrambling. Not bad. Have that putt to save par.
Isaiah laying up real quick. The only time he doesn't do his full pre-shot routine is when he's decided to lay up from, inside 80 feet or whatever.
Yeah.
Just low for Jacob.
Yeah, it seems to have been his problem so far today. He's got a pretty good scorecard, but could have been even better with a couple made birdie putts.
Just wide for Nick. For a sub 300-foot hole, this hole actually played pretty tricky. It averaged 3.18, so over par, and there were only 3 birdies on the day from Matt Marquez, Cody Kirkland, and Emmanuel Torres.
Yeah, that triple mando definitely makes this hole tougher. I remember when I played this tournament in, I think, 2019, they did not have the triple mando. So it definitely makes it a tougher shot and a good training ground for a lot of different shot shapes.
Yeah, I agree. I like the triple mando. This course already has a lot of holes where it's kind of just like throw a spike hyzer over everything. So I'm always a fan of forcing players to shape more technical shots.
Absolutely. On to hole 8, par 3, 316 feet. There's the road on the left side that has an OB line. So that's the main obstacle here, along with all these trees in the way. Most players do go over that road on the left, or just straight up the gut. Like, it seems like Jacob's lining up more of a flex sidearm.
Looks good. Yeah, great shot.
Hits the oak tree and should have a putt from circle's edge.
Devin going lefty. Probably thinking of a similar line to Jacob. Oh, no, that's low. And overturned and over the OB road. Out of bounds.
It's a bad mistake to make on this hole. It's going to be pretty short, too. It's going to be hard to save the bogey. This looks like what you want. Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Nick with the turnover. Too much turn. Most likely a par coming up for him. There's Devin's third after the OB stroke, going lefty again. Hanging it out over the OB. But no worries. Perfect
Well
shot.
done.
Should save the bogey at least. And yeah, Nick doesn't have much from here. Looks like he's going to try to float it up and over the trees. Oh, good try.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
So this is Jacob's second shot for birdie. There you go.
Good putt.
Makes the correction from his miss on the last one.
And Devin with the bogey. Isaiah with the easy tap-in birdie. Almost keeping pace with Jacob, just one stroke back. And Nick with the par.
All right, on to the last hole of part 1 of round 1. This is a par 3, 376 feet. This is a pretty unique shot shape in order to get the distance in the air. It's kind of like a stall backhand shot for most of these players. You can't really get there with a direct hyzer line. And that's turning a little bit more than he wants.
And it looks like I got caught up in some trees as well. We'll see what he's left with when we get up there. Looks pretty good from Isaiah. It's headed left, though. Yeah, kind of the opposite mistake that Jacob made. But he still has a long look there, depending on the tree. And Nick, looks like too much turn. It's starting to fight out of it, but... Oh, still not bad. A little too much turn, but he might have some weird little tricky, lofty hyzer putt from there.
Yeah.
Easier version of what he tried on the last hole, maybe.
Exactly. A little practice. This looks good.
Yeah, that's splitting the difference perfectly of the other mistakes we've seen on the card. Yeah, great shot. Tricky little putt, but in the circle. Maybe not even that tricky given how close he is. Oh yeah, Jacob got caught up way back here. Let's see if he can get up and down and save the par.
A little zone shot from a knee.
Probably good enough, but he's got a little work left to do. Oh, Nick has a low ceiling putt. I was wrong. He's not chipping it up and over. Ah, maybe he should have. Oh yeah, Isaiah's got a putt around the tree. Oh, just inches low.
And Jacob to save par. He
Good
does.
save. And Devin must be real close if Jacob putted for par before Devin putted for birdie. Here he is. For the only birdie on the card.
Birdie.
Great birdie.
Yeah, good one to get.
Yeah, there were only 4 on the day for this hole.
So that's going to do it for part 1 of round 1 of the Mesmerize Disc Golf Tournament. Here's our scores after 9 holes.
Jacob Blair leading the way at 5 down. Isaiah only 1 stroke behind. He's had multiple opportunities where he almost caught Jacob. Got a lot more fun golf coming up on the back. I nearly said back 9, but it's actually back 12 since this is a 21-hole round. Hope you guys come back and join us.
We'll see you there.